Jared was my son that I had with Bunny and Joe. Oh my god, this was like at the start of the server. Um, and we adopted him, and that's like what caused us to get engaged. And then, it's a long story, but basically what happened was, he despawned, right? And then Joe, suggested that we just find a new one, because like this wasn't meant to be lore, but then it became lore. So we on stream replaced Jared, and then Bunny didn't know, and then Jared's important to the lore, low key. And so we replaced Jared without Bunny knowing, and then the second Jared got schmurdered. And we held like a whole trial trying to figure out who killed Jared. And Utes thought it was like Bunny or Joe or I, and everyone else thought it was either Utes or Vic, even though they both had a clear alibi. And I was just like, I don't want to accuse anybody situation. Well, see, the thing is, I didn't even know that replacing Jared was going to be lore, right? So like there's that. It was just literally like, I just don't want there to not be Jared, right? So yeah, and Froggy was there. And then Froggy was like a witness. And then so we held the trial, and it was a mistrial. And then it kind of got put on the back burner. But like Bunny like was not gonna forgive me or anything like that, and like was very upset about it. And so like our engagement got put on hold. And then sorry, brain. And then Froggy and Genesis got married. And then at that wedding, we saw, like, Bunny and I saw each other for the first time again. Marriage pog. And then a lot of trauma happened, and Future arrived, and Future was like, ha 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 ha, murder time, and killed Genesis at her wedding day. And was like basically really heavily implying that he killed Jared. And in canon, like, he killed Jared. But because he's from a timeline where like Bunny killed Jared or something, some cult thing. I don't know if, but no, Bunny didn't kill Genesis at the wedding. Future killed Genesis, yeah. And then there was like other shit, and then Froggy got killed on the honeymoon. But like Jared, you could see him as like a catalyst. Yeah, Future killed Genesis, yeah. And no, you're fine. And then so eventually, because Bunny was supposed to kill Jared in the timeline, but she didn't, it wasn't much of a honeymoon. Yeah, not really. More like an escape. But yeah, since Bunny was supposed to kill Jared but didn't, she still had to kill someone important to her. So later on, she was like, can we talk? And I was like, I mean, I guess. And I was like, let's not do it here, though. Because I was like, I need to tell you something, too. Oh, also, I had a depression arc where I was, like, blaming myself for Bunny leaving and for Jared dying and whatnot. And then I was like, I don't deserve this. Like, this might have happened, but I didn't abandon the ones I loved in the wake of tragedy. Like, because Bunny basically stepped away from us and, like, didn't want to talk out our issues because I tried to during the wedding. It was a whole thing. So, like, I went through a depression arc. There's so much happening. And so, like, but then I, like, was like, no, I don't deserve this. And so Bunny still thought I was in my depression arc. And so she was like, I'm gonna kick him while he's down and, like, kill him then to, like, get her, like, kill count or some shit. I don't know. There was something with the cult there. So she was like, this is just an entire overview of the lore. Yeah, basically. From my perspective, because there's other stuff going on that I don't know about. And so Bunny came up and was like, hey, can we talk over here? And I was like, let's not do it in front of the chickens or the cats. Let's talk over here. It actually happened right over here. Bunny and I were talking, and I was gonna basically break off the relationship because she broke a promise to me. But she was over here and she threw down her crown, which was like our engagement rings. And I was like, oh, cool. And I threw down mine and burned them in front of her. And she was like, I wanted to make this easy on you, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, no. Um, and then she started trying to kill me, decked out in full iron. Uh, she tried to kill me, decked out in full iron with an iron axe, but I have like full netherite, so that wasn't really gonna work. Uh, and so I defended myself, and in doing that, I killed her. Took one of her lives. She took one of mine later, though, because basically what happened was, like, Future appeared and was, like, there, and I realized, like, they're not gonna stop. And I was like, if Bunny still actually cares about me, she wouldn't. So I was like, do it. Like, just kill me. Do it. And then she did. I was like, well, that cuts ties completely. Like, no, in my book, you're done. Because, like, a huge part of, like, what happened and why I was, like, gonna break it off with Bunny was because, like, in canon, like, my character, like, I straight up, like, promises are super important to me. Hence why every contact... Am I a canon egg apologist? That's a good question. But, like, in my character lore, it's basically, like, promises, since I'm, like, a changeling and changeling are fae, like, promises are super important to me, and, like, because promises are like contracts, and I felt that our engagement was like a promise, like a contract, like, I will be there for you, and I will, through thick and thin, be there for you. And then I felt like that wasn't being upheld. And so I was like, yeah, which can also be seen with, like, the replacement of Jared. Like, my other fiance was the one who suggested doing it. And so, like, I was like, yeah, I'll follow you. Because, like, I'm here for you. So, yeah. But basically, yeah. And so, like, there was just a big feeling of betrayal because she basically, like, dropped everyone in our friend group or in our, like, canon Bunny, not actual Bunny. Dropped, like, everyone who was, like, in our original friends and was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with this Future guy and join his cult, even though I barely know him. And he killed, like, one of our closest friends right in front of us on the day of her wedding. Like, that just felt like a huge betrayal to me as well. And I was like, I can't be around like that. Like, that's not cool. So yeah. Canon Egg was like, bruh, why? I don't understand. Is Egg still with their other fiance, or is that over too? That is a good question. Joe is the other fiance. Joe used to have a building over there, but we tore it down. But Joe hasn't streamed any lore for like a few months because they've been taking a break. So out of canon, we haven't had time to address that. In canon, Egg definitely still feels kind of hurt by the whole situation, especially with Joe's absence. And wants to talk it over with them and see where they stand together. Because the thing about Joe is they've been really quiet about, like, every situation that's come between the three of them. And, like, hasn't really been siding with anyone. And like, there's a reason for that in canon, but, like, yeah, so, like, they don't know. Egg definitely feels hurt by the lack of support and the lack of, like, I don't know, effort being put forth. But I don't think that's necessarily a contract breaker. It's not necessarily like a betrayal. As opposed to what Bunny did. So it's definitely, like, able to be talked about. You think it would be healthier for Egg to break it off with Joe? Maybe, but like I said, it's something that Egg sees as something that could be worked through, and they still have a promise to keep. And Egg, like I said, is super big on promises. And they're very important to him. So he would feel like breaking a promise even if he did break it off for a little bit, you know? So I think that's something they would have to renegotiate together. I don't know. Just some thoughts on the character development. Egg needs therapy, but is also the therapist. Yeah, this is true. This is true. I am the therapist. How you gonna be depressed as a psych major? Just study your notes. That's the kind of the vibe. I don't know. I also think, like, because Egg lost his child, he feels some sort of, like, paternal responsibility towards his friends. Which is why he's trying to rally the troops to, like, fight the cult. The therapy is just gonna go both ways. We both just spill to each other. No! Not true. That's not how that's gonna go down at all. Oh, there's you, Czar. Blizz, Czar. God, the rebranding's gonna take a while for me. Thank you. It's been a while in the making. But yeah, so that's another review of the lore, I guess. I do a few of those. Whenever someone asks about it, I, like, go over all of the lore again. Alright.